there have been multiple moves within the F1 paddock as we're going to see multiple new faces as team principals for different teams. Let's get right into it. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Formula One Digest. I'm your host, Tyson De Silva, and I'm joined by my co host, Mark. And Mark, we're having a bit of a silly season here in this offseason as we are seeing multiple team principal moves as we see Mattia Binotto, who was resigning from his position very recently. But now we have Jost Capito leaving the Williams team. And there have been a bunch of other moves, but I want to focus on Jost first. Mark, what does this mean for the Williams team, who have not really done much, obviously, in the past decade at least, and now it looks like it could be nearing a whole new kind of era for them.
Yeah, I personally believed that Jost did a very good job as principal in bringing new life to the team. And uh, regardless of what anyone else says, I think that he was a good fit for the team. It really didn't make any sense when I heard the news that he was leaving. Uh, he's leaving the Williams team, as we both know, and he doesn't seem to have another job lined uh, following this leave. So it's a really confusing time, and it's not just him. There's another upper level management person from Williams that's also leaving the
Yep.
team. Um, it's kind of a head scratcher as to why this is happening. Maybe they know something within the team that we don't. Maybe there is some friction throughout the year between the investment company that owns the team principal. Who knows? I was under the impression that this season was a step up from the last couple seasons, and it was really looking like Williams was going on an upward trajectory. So who's going to fill this position? There's no real candidate right now. They've kind of just left the position open. Um, so we'll have to see what the state of the Williams team is over the next few weeks.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I think that when you look at how the season with Yost has gone, it's been an upward kind of momentum as they had a podium, though it was a bit of a stranger one with George Russell last year. Alex Albon looked really poised to be a consistent points finisher if they had just made a couple more changes to their car. That was a really fast car when there were main straights, like in Monza, even in Australia when he, I believe, was at one point in like P5, but then he had to take a stop and then finished in P10. But regardless, he's had a lot of success with the team, and this is I think what the Williams team wanted. They were out with this kind of old mentality of we're the most historic team in F1 or one of the most historic teams. We want to be fresh and we want to be new. And that was kind of the vibes. They just got rid of Nicholas Latifi. They have Logan Sargent lined up for that seat for next year. Everything is looking so new and everything seems to be slowly coming together. And now you have one of the key figures to the success leaving. It makes you really question what really went on and what kind of caused him to leave. And we've kind of talked about it on and off. How much longer is Williams going to be an impactful team or a team even in this sport?
Yeah, exactly. I do have some ideas for where Yos Capito might go. I've been speculating that he might be on his way over to the Sauber Audi team with Andreas Seidel. Um, but the other question is, how is this Logan Sargent experiment going to play out? Because I know that Jos Capito was a big proponent to having Logan Sargent join the team. And, with him leaving, is there someone that's going to be able to manage Logan and be able to manage such a young, talented sport? If you have someone new who's new to the management side of Formula One, this experiment with a young American driver, which is something that Formula One needs, could go horribly wrong for the.
Yeah, no, for sure. And there's going to be a lot of question marks as they head into 2023, and I really just don't know what kind of move they're going to make. Obviously, there is someone that is available. He recently resigned from another historic team. And maybe we should start the petition that Mattia Bonato should be the next team principal for Williams. Uh, I don't know if that'll happen. Maybe it could because he is a free agent at this point, but I don't know if he's going to want to go from Ferrari and Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz to Alex Albon and Logan Sargent. But go ahead.
I was going to say there is also another candidate that would be suitable for the team, and I just came up with this off the top of my head. Susie Wolf, Toto Wolff's wife, would also be a great candidate for the team. She was the team principal of the Mercedes AMG Q team in Formula E, and she won a championship with them. So we can either get Mattia Bonato or Susie Wolf.
Yeah, I
And
think.
I
Yeah,
think
no,
Susie Wolf
definitely.
is a better candidate.
Yeah, and I think that with the track record that the Wolves have, it could be a very bright future if they decide to go down that route. Not to mention that Williams and Mercedes do have a bit of a partnership. We've seen George Russell come up to the Mercedes team. We've had Nick DeVries, who was a Mercedes reserve driver, race for Williams. It could be maybe the ultimate kind of partnership there if you have now husband and wife there. I don't know if that's going to happen. I don't think that executives are going to want a husband and wife to be on the same thing, but if it does happen, that would be pretty sick. Moving on, of course, we have more moves that have happened. We have Andreas Seidel moving from the McLaren team, and he's going to be going to Alfa Romeo next year. And Mark, this kind of brings up the question, where does Fred Vasseur go? Well, folks, he is going to Ferrari. The rumors were true, and he is going to be a Ferrari team principal, reuniting with Charles Leclerc. Mark, what do you think of both moves, and what does this do for Alfa Romeo and Ferrari?
So I think this is a plus move for Alfa Romeo, Sauber, soon to be Audi. Andreas Seidel has a lot of experience with the Volkswagen Group. He was a level management. He was in a high level management position with the Porsche World Endurance team, and he had a lot of success with them. He won Le Mans with Porsche a few times, and he also has experience with the Sauber team. In his early career, he was a engineer for the team, and he had worked with them before, and is now, I guess, returning home from where he started his F1 engineering career, and is now the CEO. I think it's also a plus move for Ferrari for picking up someone like Frederic Vasseur. He has been phenomenal in managing this Alfa Romeo team over the last few years. I think that he's done a wonderful job. He's got the wind tunnel back up and running, back for that team, and he's done so much more, changing the structure of how the team works and really pumping in new life for that team. I think that's going to be a plus for Ferrari. This is the first time, I think, in 50 years that they have hired externally to the team. The last 15 years, they've only hired from within their upper level management structure, and that hasn't been the most successful. The last team principal that they had that wasn't from within Ferrari's upper level management was Jean Todt. And we all know the success that John brought to that team, managing someone like Michael Schumacher, and the string of success that he had when he was with Ross Brawn. That team was just a powerhouse back then, and it could turn into a new powerhouse now. Um, it's a huge loss for McLaren losing someone like Andreas Seidel. Again, it's a running theme within the F1 paddock. Andreas brought brand new life into the McLaren team, and now they're losing that. And I think the person they have to replace him is a worthy candidate, but having someone with the experience like Andreas Seidel, you can't match that. And I think the trajectory of McLaren might be on the down, but we'll have to wait and see just what unfolds in the 2023 season.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I think that you're bringing back a bit more of the good vibes with Frederick. I think that Charles has a good relationship. They obviously had some good success in 2018. I'm sure that they're both excited to reunite. Um, and yeah, no, and I think that Ferrari needed to make a change. We've discussed this, and I think that Bonato was the odd man out in this case. If there's a lack of success there, then maybe they'll need to reevaluate maybe who the drivers are for 2024. But it's going to be really interesting to see what Frederick is able to do for a Ferrari team that is really hoping to get a championship next year in either the drivers championship or the constructors. And for Alfa Romeo, like you said, they're getting a very it's the right choice for a replacement. And I think that especially as they transition into Audi, there's going to be a lot of things going right for them as they become a new team.
We have to remember, though, Andreas Seidel's not moving into a team principal role. He is going to be the
Right, right.
CEO of the company. There was word in that press release that coming January 2023, he will be looking for the replacement of Frederick Vasseur
Yeah.
as principal. And my money is going to be on Jost Capito. I don't think he's fully done with F1. I believe he would be a great fit to a brand new outfit like Audi. And I think that Yoss just a great principal, and I'd hate to see him go.
Yeah, for sure. I think he's a good character for the future of these teams that are kind of going through a bit of a rebirth stage here. And yeah, no, I think it's going to be really exciting to see what they do. Andreas Seidel is going to be the right guy, I think, going forward. I think that it's a great opportunity for him, obviously. And for McLaren, yeah, it's going to hurt because they did have some decent success. But hopefully, Andrea Stella, I think that's his name. Yeah, hopefully he's able to kind of continue that success going forward as their principal. And yeah, we're going to see, hopefully, McLaren make a push to be better than best of the rest.
Yeah, exactly. Andreas Stella, he has a great resume. He was a race engineer for Michael Schumacher back in the day in Ferrari. He also was a upper level management member in the Ferrari team structure, and then he left for McLaren. And we see just how well that team worked together. Uh, Stella was basically Seidel's second in command, so I don't think they're left in bad hands by any means. I just think that um, with the season that McLaren had this year, I think that some stability and some continuity would have been well needed for that.
No, I 100% agree. You're already getting rid of Daniel Ricciardo, um, who obviously had some down years there. Well, I think it was really just this year was a really bad year for him. And I think what makes it kind of worse now is, you talk about continuity and consistency. You have a new driver in Oscar Piastri, but now you also have a new team principal in Andrea Stella. It's going to be really interesting to see just what they do and what they're able to accomplish next year. But maybe this is kind of the jolt or the shakeup that they need to kind of get back to a more consistent winning way.
Yeah, exactly. It's some good and it's some bads for these teams. We definitely have to wait until 20 to find out what happens. I really don't know what's gonna happen. Uh, it's all a mystery. Very unprecedented to have three, if not four, team principals departing teams within 24 hours of each other. That's been one of the biggest talking points of this whole silly season situation. I can't remember the last time something happened. Even in a sport like basketball or hockey, how often do we get coaches within 24 hours of each other leave a team, go to another team,
Yeah,
and
no,
then have their replacement from another team?
yeah, no, it's kind of crazy, but I think it kind of shows that people recognize that this era of F1, this with these new designs, there's an opportunity for everyone to win or move up, right? So it's only a matter of time until we see even more changes. But until then, guys, you guys are the best for making it this far. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. We appreciate all the support. Stay tuned for this week. We are going to be having a very special video dropping this week. And we look forward to that. And we look forward to seeing you guys in the next one.